family and my coin factory family, back once more with another daily live stream. I apologize, it is so very early today as per usual, but unfortunately our family busy later with the whole Christmas season being in that, but I am still here with your daily FOMO for Kaspa and crypto. Right now it looks like we have had that crisis averted. We had some big news yesterday following the inflation data, which ended up coming back better than we anticipated. The Fed was happy about that most definitely, and also the speculative but looming government shutdown has now been averted as well. We'll get into that in the stream, but we also have Rust, 10 bps Hardfork, has already after 2 days moved on to the next stage, or at least has moved on one extra stage, which is a very, very big deal. I'm going to get into exactly why, of course, what it means for Kaspa, what therefore due to come to Kaspa very, very soon, and the rest of it. As always, if you're enjoying these streams, be doing these daily, leave a like, share your friends, and subscribe for more. And hopefully, you're all having a very, very good day today. What's up, my man? What's up? Welcome back to the stream, and to you, Tony, as well. Yo, back to the stream, my man. Hope you're all having a very, very good day. So, without further ado, I guess the best place to start would be with the news regarding the crisis, so to speak. So, ultimately, as I mentioned in my most recent video that I made about a day or two ago, and also my little last few streams, we saw that Donald Trump was demanding and urging that Congress passed a spending bill and also raised the debt ceiling, which is well, it led Congress to a standstill because they didn't really want to do anything with the spending bill, at least at that moment in time, and they most definitely didn't want to raise the debt ceiling, because while the debt ceiling being raised can have good effects to the economy, it could bring more, it could bolster financial markets and make the crypto market, more bullish, if you will. It also can therefore lead to increased inflation and government overspending. So it has a good and bad, and Congress did not want that seemingly. But seemingly now the US Senate has now passed the government funding bill, which has averted the shutdown, which is a very, very big deal, and that happened just in time. If it didn't happen by today, that we could have seen a government shutdown, which would have probably seen crypto markets come down a lot further. Right now we can see Kaspa's up 1.65% on daily time frame, valued at 12.5%, is still at a low point. But should this be the crisis averted and no more, dire bad news to come, and Bitcoin starts to stabilize where it's at right now, which it seems to be doing for the most part, this would coincide on my belief, which I stated, that I think Kaspa, its next bottom would be at 11 cents, which is where it came down to here on the 20th on Friday yesterday. It came down to about 11 cents before reversing and finishing up on the daily time frame that day. So potentially that is a good sign for being the next absolute bottom for Kaspa, which would make sense to me, considering that we saw a low here, we saw another low here, and we saw it come back down to this bottom again here, leading to the belief of there being a double bottom. But again, TA, you could make any analysis of it if you want to. This could arguably be a head and shoulders here, meaning we'll come down further here, or again still a double bottom, meaning we should in due time, it means we shouldn't go below this zone here and start going up in value. Of course, time will tell, but hopefully crisis averted and we could still see Kaspa go up from here. But again, once more, you've got to remain logical and not emotional. Understand that the market is still very uncertain, volatile right now, with so much happening in the space of Bitcoin, and therefore could very likely come back down to the 80k region down here. But of course, time will tell. But either way, Kaspa right now is doing very, very well. After its the last week of a negative price action is starting to make a small recovery, and this could be a very, very big deal. So I'll get back into this a little bit in a moment. Actually, no, I'll get into this a little bit more before I get to CBPS here. So ultimately, the Senate passed the bill. Now, good and bad news. The good news, they passed the bill, but the bad news, in a sense, again, I don't think it's that bad, but it kind of is, because the new bill did not include Trump's demand to lift the debt ceiling, and Trump did state that he is going to fight tooth and nail to pass this debt ceiling. Like, he wants the debt ceiling very, very desperately, very badly. So it means he's not done fighting for this, so we might see some more complications in the future to come, which can cause issues. But for the meantime, right now, that is good to see that we got the US spending bill passed. Therefore, we won't see a government shutdown. And there's a lot of big announcements coming in the next 2 weeks regarding Congress reconvening. Therefore, we'll likely see the approval of the stablecoin bill and the FIT21 bill, so crypto, therefore more adoption, and therefore when Trump gets inaugurated, we'll see regulations, probably frameworks launched very, very soon, which Hester Peirce just kind of stating a belief here. The SEC commissioner believes that the incoming SEC chair, Paul Atkins, who has connections to Kaspa, believe it or not, he will prioritise crypto, stating, she states here, the acting chair, so Paul Atkins, can start working on things that are a priority, and one of those issues is going to be crypto. So that is going to be a very, very big deal. Right now we're going to the most pro-crypto cabinet we've ever seen in our lifetime. And I think it's going to, where it goes from the future, golf time will tell, but in the immediate future for this cycle, we've still got a lot higher highs incoming. So where we didn't see this debt ceiling included, which could cause repercussions in the future, we have seen a lot of companies, a lot of institutions, in particular crypto institutions, donate to Trump's inauguration. Coinbase, Kraken, Ripple, MoonPay, they've donated Trump's Vance inaugural fund, according to Fox. Also, Kraken, I mentioned Kraken and Ondu have donated $1 million each. Ripple donated $5 million. Apparently Amazon also donated $1 million. So, a lot of support to Trump right now, which will help, potentially alleviate his demand. $1 million is not a lot in the grand scheme of things for what they want to do. But $1 million is a few millions is still something to maybe help dissuade him wanting to raise the debt ceiling. Of course, time will tell. But either way, ultimately, right now we're in the crisis has been averted, if you will. We saw the inflation data that came through, which I mentioned in yesterday's stream, which I have to scroll down to find. I apologize. I did retweet it in my server, my Discord server. Where is it? I might have to get it from a thing. I can't going to get it from my server. I apologize. I did retweet it. Yeah, here it is. So we can see here that the November PCE inflation, which is the Fed preferred inflation measure, it has rose to 2.4, which it was expected to be 2.5. So as didn't rise as high as we expected. Therefore, which is good for them. It's very good for them, which therefore probably means that I feel like it's a bullish indicator for what's going to happen going towards the end of this year into Q1. Potentially see a very, very bullish Q1 next year. Of course, time will tell. But either way, this is a very, very big deal for the Fed and therefore leading to more bullish momentum, in my belief. And a lot of big things are going to start happening in the cycle, especially for Kaspa. So, as we can see here, 2 days ago, Kaspa had announced that the iterative improvement segment of their Crescendo roadmap had been completed, leading us now to the enhanced user experience and additional features part, right? Which is a very, very big deal. And they also then followed up by saying, it's been over 2 weeks since the testnet 11 hard fork that contained all the optimization we've been working on, as well as the activation for KIP10, finalized KIP9 and payloads. The network is running stable, and the nodes on the network, some of them over a decade old, have been chugging along nicely. Ultimately just saying that this Crescendo, this 10 Mbps hard fork, can run on old software and everything's running smoothly right now. We've been doing it for 2 weeks, so the iteration has been it's successful, it's been complete, right? On to the next stage, therefore, which is the enhanced user experience and also additional features. And we can see here that enhanced user experience has already been complete, which means stages of Crescendo enhanced user experience where you maintain, or when the mainnet node operators play an important role. So they were inviting pools, exchanges, and all integrators to run the testnet 11 node to test your software against the node. But ultimately, so exchanges, pools, so Binance, obviously being the main one we talk about on this in Kaspa, because Binance is the big catalyst for Kaspa, obviously. But therefore, it seems that this enhanced user experience part, after just 2 days, again 9th of December, 2 days ago is when it was announced, has seemingly already been completed, which is quite big. Now, of course, this feature will be done either this month or next month, and I do want to reiterate something that Michael Sutton announced. I need to get the post up just to showcase that I have the proof here. But Michael Sutton did state that the iterative improvement section was a huge success. I need to find the post. Just where is it? It was right here. You can see here. Once more information is in my Discord server, we can find it there. But here we can see when we had the testnet 11 hard fork. He said mission accomplished, activation successful. This exact set of consensus rules and consensus constants might be the one applied to the mainnet not too far in the future. So, as a result, therefore, enhanced user experience done in 2 days, very good. Additional features, there will probably be some included, but they did also state that, they may also cut some of these features out if they don't deem them necessary or they run over timelines. So now they have they've given themselves a month and a half window to kind of get these features out and done there. But because of what my consultant said here, they may not need to do much at all to give some additional features or to improve it much. So potentially we could see this also fast-tracked and approved this month. Again, either way, we got to the end of January, but this therefore leads to the belief that we could see 10 ppс on the mainnet Rust hard fork happen maybe ahead of schedule, or at least definitely on track for Q1 2025 being latest being March. And it's a very, very big deal because that means Project Sparkle's platform will be introduced onto the mainnet in summer, which will also have 10 pps on it, being 3000 TPS, being very, very fast. And this feature, of course, will enable wider range of decentralized applications, DeFi protocols, NFT platforms, and gaming applications. And major listings are expected to, and also the belief that major listings are going to jump on board following 10 pps, because again, hard forks have complications, which they need to test them out. So we'll see major listings probably come following 10 pps and also following Project Sparkle. Again, very, very bullish news all around. There's more news, of course, to cover regarding this stuff as well. But this is why, once more, why Kaspa, where its price is struggling, has been struggling for a year, while my conviction is not waiting for Kaspa at all. Never has. And I still remain confident that Kaspa is going to do very, very well in the cycle based on the incoming developments. Kaspa has been struggling, but I mean, not every project just got up in value right now. Kaspa's big correction as of late has been 50%. And I want to remind those who are maybe tuning to the stream for the first time that projects like Litecoin and the Cardano, two big projects, they are currently down 70% from their all-time highs. Of course, they are rallying right now. Kaspa's not been rallying in the same sense, but they are down 70%. Kaspa's only right now down about 45%, which is still considerable. I mean, obviously, only a week ago it was at 10% below. It's come down a lot since, but either way, 40%. For how far down it is compared to other big projects, it's actually close to all-time highs. It's not, billion-dollar, like multiple billion-dollar market like those ones are, but in terms of ROI potential, therefore, it's higher because it's still a smaller project. Therefore, it's got more volatility behind it when it breaks out. Of course, it's been very stable right now. So the joke's been saying that Kaspa now stablecoin like XRP used to be, but either way, when it breaks out, as seen from what happened, back in early cycle back here, when we saw it being volatile for 9 months around here, when it broke out, it's a very volatile jump. Equally around here, stability happened quite a lot around here, and then when it broke out, it was a volatile jump. That was off the Bybit listing, of course, but it broke out. We've seen a volatility for a whole year here, pretty much. But when it breaks out, my belief, of course not financial advice, but I believe it will be a very, very volatile jump, jumping up potentially up to 35 cents. When? Time will tell, we can't say for sure. But I'm still very optimistic about that front for what's coming to Kaspa 10 pps smart contracts, the Rust seemingly being accelerated as well, tier 1 listings, all this sort of stuff in the KRI and everything else. What's up, Devious Me? What about the stream, my man? Strength you give for your educational work about Kaspa. There's really an effort to devalue Kaspa. I mean, you know what I mean? Either way, yeah. I will do what I can, do as I believe about Kaspa, and always try and bring the news, bring the FOMO, but people always try and put down the Kaspa FOMO right now is going quite parabolic. Expected, understandable. That doesn't waver my conviction at all in Kaspa and where it's going to go in the cycle. I still believe it's going to do very, very well based on what is due to come. What is due to come in the cycle for Kaspa. We can see right now Kaspa, in terms of its volume right now, has dropped off after its high volatility and crashing episode yesterday. Even so, right now still above 223.98 million right now. Majority once more being controlled by Mexi and Gate, which is frustrating, although it is good to see that the likes of Bit gets above 10% and Bybit's above 8%. So that is quite a reassuring thing to see, because the KF confirmed consistent high volume will be a key catalyst towards seeing the tier 1s jump on board. I did see a comment just put in the chat just now, and also was mentioned in my server earlier, that apparently Sin City Crypto, who, I'm not saying I don't trust him at all, because he's probably one of the most well in tuned in the Kaspa space in regard to speaking to the team. He has a lot of interviews with the team. He's a much bigger channel than me. One day, hopefully, I'll reach that stage and have the interview with the teams as well. I'd love to do that. But he said in his Kaspa video last night that he had info about Kaspa that it should have been listed on Binance this year already. But apparently something went wrong. We couldn't say as to so why. Now, and again, this is not a dig at Sin at any means. I don't want to dig at him at all. I actually really enjoy his content. But I just don't personally see the reason of why to say something like that. Maybe that's just me, but I don't particularly see what that does for the community. Yes, it lets you know they should have listed, which is something, I guess, but something went wrong, of course. Ultimately, we do know Binance will be listing Kaspa. That is inevitability. Rory O'Neill confirmed the integration with Kaspa and Binance is done. We've seen Kaspa have multiple connections and interviews to Binance on their Binance Lives in real life. We have the Binance Web3 wallets connected to the Kaspa page here on CoinMarketCap. We have seen interviews with them. We've seen a futures contract, a zero fees mining pool. There's currently an incentive right now put on for people to mine either Bitcoin or Kaspa on their mining pool so they can get rewarded 88,000 Kaspa. So we know it's going to happen. Why it's not happened, of course, we can't say for sure. Apparently, since he has an understanding and knows why, but he can't disclose. For me, I just see it as, well, I mean, it's good to hear, but ultimately it doesn't change anything for me. I still believe and I'm confident we'll get it. Also, what I also saw as well, apparently, is he mentioned that if we get consistent high volume, that'll be the major catalyst for the likes of Coinbase to list Kaspa. Binance, I think, is going to do it regardless, but Coinbase needs a high volume. So either way, we'll see what happens. Of course, I do believe that in this cycle, we're definitely getting Binance's cycle. If it was meant to happen this year and didn't happen, we'll definitely get it this cycle. And it also does make a bit of sense, because again, I did mention in a few streams back that Sin City had a clip where he was talking to Wolfie, basically where he said that Wolfie stated that there was a chance that we should be seeing one of the top 5 crypto projects list Kaspa by the end of the year, and that was stated 5 months ago. And we haven't got OKX, haven't got Coinbase, we've got Bybit, but he said it was not an exchange we already listed, therefore it would either have to be OKX, Coinbase or Binance, and we didn't get it. Or at least we got Kraken, but it's not technically in the top 5 CoinMarketCap, so therefore, the belief therefore was that it should have been Binance, didn't happen. Either way, point being once more, we didn't get it this year. It was frustrating. That would have definitely helped massively with capital price action, probably sending it above, not even probably, I think it would have said above all-time highs, probably rallying to 35 cents as I believed it would have done and hoped it would have done. Didn't happen, but it will come in the new year. I'm very confident about that much. We'll probably never find out the reasons why it was delayed, unless the people who are, because I imagine there's a whole NDA legal reasons why they can't disclose as much. But regardless, those who are worrying about Kaspa not doing anything in the cycle, whether that be a little bit of FOMO for you, I mean, I try and do it myself in the stream for what's coming to Kaspa. We will be getting these developments that will help Kaspa price go up in the cycle. It will be a very, very big deal, and Kaspa price will rally from here. There's no way, in my belief, of course not financial, there's no way that this is the top for Kaspa. No way. For me, it's still $2. Absolute worst case $1.50, but for me, it's still $2. Like, that's where I think Kaspa's going to reach minimum in the cycle. $50 billion market cap at the very minimum. And yeah, Binance is going to be a key catalyst to that. We'll see OKX jump on board, being a venture of the KF. We'll see Coinbase, thanks to KRI now getting Coinbase in contact with Kaspa. We'll see that coming in due time. I'm sure we'll see Crypto.com as well. We'll see 10PS come out in due time, quicker than expected, hopefully, based on these seemingly accelerated developments. We'll see smart contracts. We'll see KRI get involved. We'll see ETFs through Grayscale. We all got better ETPs. We'll probably see more developments as well for Kaspa, and see a lot more big things come into the space in regards to the developments. Do you mean that 10PS is now around the corner? I mean, it's closer, right? Again, I have just, stated here, it effectively just 2 days ago had just completed this iterative improvement section, and that's when you saw Kaspa have this incentive here, about, you can now enter the enhanced user experience stage of Crescendo Hardfork, where you play an important role, and then inviting the pools, the exchanges, so Binance and everyone else who obviously, runs and has listed Kaspa, to basically run on the testnet 11 node and test your software against that node, and in just 2 days, seemingly, it's already complete. So now the additional features part, where they have the freedom to basically, to my knowledge again, they don't probably need to do that much based on what Microsoft said here, that they all seem to be, working perfectly fine right now. And I'm pretty sure if you look at the Crescendo Medium post, they actually stated that this section here was in fact, let me get up the Crescendo Medium post. Crescendo Medium post. Let me get the Medium post up, because I'm pretty sure if you look at the Medium post, you would have seen that it stated it was stated that the additional features section, implementation any additional hard fork features and deployment testnet 11, some features might be excluded to fit the timeline. So in that regard, then they basically have the freedom for this next month and a half, next month, to do as they will, either fast track it because they don't really need many more features seemingly, or they can spend the whole time to making sure everything's as good and get as really as great as possible. That is a very, very big deal. So potentially we see the fast tracking of 10 bps around the corner, and after that, the next steps would be feature freeze, which, well, as it stands, and again we could just look into it here. It doesn't give an explanation of what feature freeze is here. But the element would be quite understandable to be the fact that if there is, for whatever reason, a problem with the code, they would have put a system in where they can just freeze it and stop anything. So if a bad actor gets involved and tries to take advantage, they can freeze it to stop them, stealing people's money and whatnot. And then you got just after that, it'll just be the hard fork version, just to implement the hard fork transitioning version, and then it'll just be a case of actually deploying it. So ultimately, we are not far off now. We'll probably see this happen, I want to believe, going into early January. This will probably be implemented, I'll put it in a month or so, and these things will come through very quickly after this as well. And then mainnet deployment with Hardfork transitioning activated will be 1 month or 2 later. So again, you'll probably see all these developments here by that logic, because we already had this one done. You'll see all of these developments here by that logic completed in the next month or so. And then you just see this being a rollout of getting a Hardfork done, which will lead this important factor here. You got this here, the mining nodes here. Right now, some people are still using the older system, the Golang. With Hardfork, it will be only Rust. You can't do any backdoors, no reverse engineering, so to speak. So this will all be 0.15. So all the nodes will be on Rust again. Right now, majority are on Rust. You can see as you look at the homepage right now, pretty much all of them are on Rust. You see very, very rarely you see any Go nodes now. You see occasional ones, but very rarely. But in a few months' time, it will only be Rusty. It will only be 10 bps. It will be insanely quick. Right now, on average, Kaspa can handle 300 TPS as is like standard. It will be able to handle 3,000 following 10 bps. It will be 6,000 times faster than Bitcoin. It will be able to compete with other blockchain projects. Proof of stakes. It was already the fastest proof of work. With 10 bps, it will be even faster, dominating them, and then with 10 bps as well, it'll be able to compete with the likes of Ethereum, Solana, Tron, even XRP. XRP right now can handle 1,500 TPS. So Kaspa with 10 bps will be 2 times faster than XRP, and XRP is meant to be useful. XRP apparently can scale up higher. Someone's saying 50,000 TPS, which I think is quite excessive, but apparently if they can, so be it. Kaspa will be able to scale to that part. I'm just sure in the future as well. But either way, at the base layer of XRP, what it does on average being 1.5, Kaspa will be able to do. Either way you say that, the whole point of XRP can scale to 50,000. We've seen it on the platform here where the TPS was higher than 300 because there was so much adoption at the time. When you had our KRC20 first launch, that was I think in the thousands. It was congested as anything, but it was in the thousands, I believe. Even when KDAO came out as well, it was much higher than 300 TPS, but the 300 TPS is what it can handle. So XRP can also handle 1.5 with 10 PS. Kaspa will be able to handle 3,000, so 2 times faster than XRP, which XRP is meant to be utilised by the banking system, central banks, governments, which is a big deal. And KRI are going to be releasing projects like Warpcore, like AssetMin, like Gigawatt that will let Kaspa compete with what XRP are doing in the cross-border payment space. Not saying they're going to take over straight away, but it will be a gradual process. But I think Kaspa is going to become an integral part of this monetary system going forward, bringing more institutional adoption, more money into the Kaspa platform, bringing more developers on board, allowing the use case of Kaspa to go up, and that will increase its value. It's supply and demand, simple supply and demand. If there's more demand for the project and the supply is not, correlated with the demand, it will increase in value. Right now, the supply of a Kaspa is going up, while the demand is not particularly rising. Although saying that, it is, because the hash rate is still peaking. It's making all-time highs more consistently now. After being stagnant at 1.3 for about a month and then dropping off, it's now being, stagnant more so around 1.4 on average. Having some dips here and there, of course it does do, but it peaked recently at 1.54. EH is a very big deal. And the holders as well. The holders are going up higher and higher as well. 560,000 adjusted now, a new all-time high. So the adoption's still been growing, but supply's been outweighing that. That's why the price has not been rising in particular, and also because, again, it's been manipulated by certain exchanges. The price has been suppressed, as we've seen from their massive sell walls and their bots. But, once more, again, with the breakout for me that is due to happen in this cycle for Kaspa, it will surpass all-time highs for me in this cycle. And once that happens, you'll see, in my belief, again, not financial, you'll see quite a significant breakout towards new all-time highs. And we've got some big things coming, near future for Kaspa as well. I mentioned as well yesterday as a potential nice Christmas gift that Tangem seemed to be ready to launching and integrating KRC20, which is here, undergoing beta testing now, and apparently it'll be ready by Christmas. We can see here, right around Christmas time. So that would be a very, very nice Christmas gift for the KRC20 community. These tokens start to rally more so. I mean, Kango right now is doing quite well. Nacho is starting to rally up a little bit now, just short of 30 million market cap. Right now, Nacho has always made history at 17,000 holders. So the adoption for these projects are still growing more in adoption. The price is not just reflecting the adoption these projects have, but it just means that when the breakout happens, with how much adoption they have, it's going to be a volatile breakout. That's typically what you see in the space. I'll be interested to know how long you think it will be before we see a $1 mark for the first time after such a long sideways phase. I have become impatient. I understand that, my man, Massimino. I apologise for your for the impatience. I mean, I understand that. I do. I really do. I can't say for sure when we'll see $1. There's too many catalysts to take into account. And again, I thought XRP would reach $5 this cycle. I didn't think XRP would rise from 50 cents to $2.50 in the span of a month. It's tough to say how quickly. Kaspa, when it breaks out, could jump to 50 cents, could jump to 30 cents, could jump to $1. It depends on the announcements and what causes it to break out. If there's nothing significant, in the sense of nothing that immediately happens to cause the breakout, it just happens kind of organically, it might only jump to like 25 cents. If it's a Binance listing followed by 10 PPS at the same time, followed by more listings and everything else, and that might cause a lot of FOMO to cause it to go up very, very quickly. Of course, time will tell. So for me, $1 will happen this cycle. I still think $2 will happen this cycle. It's ultimately just kind of don't being emotional, be logical, and just trying to keep your wits about you. We've seen the market right now in a decent phase. It's cooling off a little bit right now still, which is coinciding with what I stated would happen. As the market overheated right here, similar to what happened in December of last year. It had a massive cool-off phase. We're having that right now. I think we'll see heating up again when Trump gets inaugurated in about a month's time. And we can see once more, CBBI stating that we're at 81 right now, so we're not even overheated yet. We've still got another, we should be seeing it to mid to late 90s when we get too overheated. We've got to start looking to get out. So we've still got a lot more room to run from here at currently just short of 100k Bitcoin. One shows the liquidity that there is to take towards the 9 cents for Kaspa. Thank you. I mean, yeah, there is definitely potential for Kaspa to come down lower to the 9 cents range. But if we do see Bitcoin start to consolidate and even start to accumulate in value again, not dropping below this zone here, if Bitcoin starts going through a correction phase again, which is definitely possible, Bitcoin can come down here, leading into the new year, and then start going parabolic in Q1 2025, then we can see everything start to drop in value as well. But if Bitcoin somehow consolidates in this zone here and just stays here, or even like around here, not lower than this point here, then I think we'll see Kaspa just start to equally consolidate and start to rally gradually upwards. Especially if once I think the Tangem announcement coming out in about a few days seemingly could be a big catalyst as well. Yeah, DTS is right here. Just remain confident, my man. Like, again, I understand the sentiment behind the frustration behind Kaspa right now. It's been frustrating holding Kaspa, and I'll be honest, if I wasn't doing my research daily for Kaspa, doing this stuff daily, I'd probably be a little bit frustrated myself. But as I do my research, anytime, much as I try to stay logical, of course, I'm human, I'll be emotional at times, but when I do my research, I realise, oh, you know what, I'm fine. What's coming to Kaspa, I'm not worried about it at all. The price can come down further, but I see what's coming for Kaspa, 10 BPS, a smart contract, all this sort of stuff that leads me to believe that we'll see a lot more coming for Kaspa very, very soon. In that regard, we actually do have some more announcements regarding KRC20, one of them being this post here. Kas Media put out a post saying very excited to launch of Kaspa.com, which used to be Caspiano. They bought the URL, but the rights to have Kaspa.com as their website. And we've got a Medium post here from Kas Media talking about it. Ultimately, the fact that the Kaspa ecosystem matures and expands, very big things coming to it. And the self-proclaimed Kaspa Moonboy Sion Milem and seasoned Kaspa entrepreneur Christian Ludwig, who's one of the bigger miners for Kaspas, have made a team of experienced developers to create Kaspa.com Caspiano, which is hosts an entire ecosystem based around KRC20 tokens, where they can utilize features associated with DEX, DEX Screener, Marketplace, Launchpad, and much more. It's a very interesting article. It's 13 minutes long. I'm not going to bore you with a 13-minute long article. But it's a very interesting thing. They talk about multiple features in here, what kind of inspiring to create it, how did they come up with the name, all this sort of stuff here, journey, what happened with that sort of stuff. They also mentioned how they decide on the fee structure. One thing that I thought was very, very important, or very interesting at least, I've not looked too much into it myself. I mean, there are many cool features as well, of course, but one thing that I thought was very, very cool, this one's quite cool, how you're able to remove custodial risk with your wallet-to-wallet trading. So that, again, is a very, very big feature. So they built a super secure and validating user on the blockchain to take many security measures on server platforms. So again, it should be safe again. You have to do your own research in this sort of stuff as well. But also this I thought was very interesting. It might help investors as well. The rug score is a standout feature. I learned about this feature in Solana screeners that I use to use myself. It needs improvement, but we use token metrics and the user's digital footprint to provide a user with a rug score. Now, I've not looked into this myself per se, but I think I understand to an extent what it is like. There's a website called Bulex, right? Bulex, which I do have an account for, where on Bulex, there's a feature which shows numerous elements, which I'm just going to quickly just remember them. But on Bulex, they have numerous elements to help you determine it basically is an audit, right? So it tells you, whether the asset itself is mintable, is their token data mutatable, is it feasible, the update authority, the owner balance, so how much the dev actually owns, how much LP has been burned, the top 10 holders, and deployer address. Now, the top 10 holders is a big thing for me because, of course, the element of it being rugged will come down to developers who hold it still, and also how much is being held by the top developers. If you look at projects like Nacho, for example, lost my page. Nacho, for example, you can check out the holders here. You can see right now, CoinEx holds a lot, Pionex, 2 wallets Pionex, and then 2 Pionex US wallets. But either way, for the most part, it's, that what's deemed as a bad thing is if a holder holds more, if the top 10 holders combined hold more than, I think, 15% is deemed as, potential rug. Of course, this is exchanges, so take that as you will. But, combine this all together. I'm trying to do the quick maths here. That's 8, 10, 12, 30, 14. So yeah, this is over 15% for Nacho here. Majority through exchanges. These ones seem to be more so actual users, or potentially more so users because they're not tagged here. But if it's less than 15%, that tends to mean the chance of there being a rug is lesser. That's, from my knowledge of trading, from what I have done. But for me, I thought that's a very interesting feature that they've added, which will help, especially newer investors, or even to know whether it's worth their while, or understand more so to an extent of how much they should be willing to trust, if you will, a project, because the rug score will tell them, again, while it needs improvements, the potential of, how good it can be, and whether there's a chance to be rugged. Of course, anything can be rugged. You've got to be very, very careful to do your own research, but it will help losing certain metrics, like I mentioned, top 10 holders being one of the big ones about, how there are some projects, for example, there's one that I know of called Bro, which is a cat token, right? As a cat meme on Solana. Right now, the top 10 holders take up 16.54% of it. So therefore, it's not a dangerous risk, but there is a risk of therefore them taking out quite a lot of the liquidity. If all of them joined together and took out at the same time, that could cause quite a significant crash. There are some projects which I have seen, which their top 10 holders are like 40%. That is something you don't want to be in, or you want to be extremely careful, knowing that they can literally dump the project on your head and completely ruin it. So you've got to be very, very careful about these sort of things when you're looking into these projects. You found any news by adding new cards to Tangem, or better to take seed phases? I did actually. Let me get on my notes. I did find news when I looked into it. So from what it looks like, you can add multiple Tangem cards to your Tangem wallet app. So what you think, from my knowledge, what you have to do is you start obviously with one Tangem card. You set up the Tangem wallet as you have done already. And then you can add more cards to the same app. And each card will be treated as a separate wallet with its own unique address and private keys, but they'll all be on the same app. If that's what you're referring to, I believe the question was to have it to one account. So does that mean having 5 cards all linked to one wallet, or is that 5 cards all linked to the same account, but you have multiple wallets at the same time. From what I can see, you can have more Tangem cards onto the same app. So I'm assuming the same. So it'll be treated as a separate wallet, but all with their own unique address and private keys. But it'll be on the same app. If that's the question you're referring to, my man. Hopefully that helps. I hope that Tangem announces our Christmas present to us, because we need at least some good news. I mean, I hope they will as well. Seems to be on the horizon, on the cards. So I'm optimistic about that. I'm optimistic about it at the very least. In regards to KRC20 a little bit more though, we do have more news. Burt, which I love, and I wouldn't say hate this, but I mean I love this in a sense. I think they're doing the right thing, but they've done a lot for Kaspa already. KRC20, one heck of a ride, and they've accomplished quite a lot already, like the Burt launchpad and also Burt's World. But they are now taking a step back. Maybe they got overwhelmed. And they're starting for a fresh. They're now introducing Burt 2.0. So they're going back to the basics, effectively, of what made Burt so successful. Memes, art, and most importantly, community engagement. So not focusing so much on developing, which again, some memes can do that. I know Nacho's trying to do that. I know that I think Gola tried to do that as well. But ultimately, memes, what makes them so successful, what developments are good, it is community incentive, and Burt's going back to that front, which I think is a good thing, because they have got very good art, being the so-called bet of Kaspa. They have mentioned as well that a part of the shift, Burt's World will be rebranded to Kas World. So stepping away from heavy development and shifting our focus entirely to creating and sharing memes, which is, we're giving an entire Burt project a complete overhaul. So it's interesting to note, I still, regardless of this fact, still stay bullish on Burt. Burt's one of the projects that I did think would do very, very well. Obviously, it did take quite a hit following certain people. But I still stand bullish on Burt. I'm curious to see, have they made Burt 2.0? It says there's Reburt here. Now I don't think that actually is the Burt that was created a while back. So I think it's just they literally just Burt 2.0, whether they're actually going to create a new token for it, or it's literally just changing Burt as as it is itself. But either way, a lot of these projects I'm still very, very bullish on, and I believe their time will come in this cycle. Of course, my most bullish conviction for me is Nacho. And speaking of which, there is a post about them as well. I saw this as well, and I was a bit curious about it. And it turns out that I didn't report it because I was a bit worried about it. But it has come to fruition here that Nacho's alerted that Nacho Swap, which is an impersonator, they're talking about being, the first DEX on the Kaspa blockchain. It's not true. It's not in conjunction with Nacho at all either. So once all this information will be in my Discord server, which I do have a link to the free one here, which I'll link in the chat right now, and also I'll put that in the scam section. Also, I do have the executive part as well. Those who are probably not aware or even aware, about 4 days ago now, I did make my Patreon section as to a way to, offer a little bit more to the community. I already do have the free server, and it's been very successful so far, having over 500 members in just 4 months. I think we'll have 550 members now, which is insane. And it's been great, and I thought I could probably offer a little bit more regarding, because obviously you can make, even during the market conditions like how it was a few days ago, where the market was crashing based on the Fed, based on Donald Trump, everything like that, I was still able to be making some profit through some other trading means, and we were able to call some good picks. For example, we were able to call, which I didn't preload it, we were able to call some projects called, I'm going to quickly load it up because I should have preloaded this, I apologise, but we ended up we had some good picks, some good calls, one of them being this project here, which we called at 37k, and it jumped to 120k, so we saw a 200% over that gain in the span of a few hours, so which was quite successful. So we ended up basically just trying to offer more means, through trading means, actively making money in this space. Just here we offering weekly live streams, trading, how to manage your trading risk, whatnot, and more features, hidden gems, stuff like that which so the community we have is just a great place to kind of build your knowledge and learn more, and this is where you want to start to really get into the nitty-gritty of making money. So I leave that also link in the chat as well. It's been, I'd say, quite successful since its launch, and we're still just getting started. There's a lot more coming to it very, very soon. So if you want to go check it out, again, link in the chat, in the description, also on my YouTube homepage. And it's only going to level up more and more going into the new year. When crypto bull run starts, well, it's already started. When the Q1 bull run starts, which again seems to be imminent, seems to be very, very imminent, based on. Let me quickly get a post up as well. There's a post here I had talking regarding January 3rd. Did I save this here? I don't see it, which is very frustrating. There's a poster I saw regarding Congress reconvening on January 3rd, which is going to be a huge deal. I don't think I pre-saved it in the chat, which is, you know, a mistake of mine, definitely. But either way, on January 3rd is going to be Congress reconvening, which will likely see, therefore, the acceleration and passing of the FIT 21 bill, as well as the passing and acceleration of the stablecoin bill. So we'll see, hopefully, regulators come very soon, and that will potentially lead to an acceleration of the crypto market going parabolic very quick, because you'll see, you know, the big boys, you know, the people who've not got involved yet, being like Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, Merrill Lynch, UBS, started to flood into the space quite soon afterwards. So whereas crypto has been bullish as it is already, you know, Bitcoin surpassing and reaching $108,000, you know, Bitcoin can still go higher from here, as proven in this historical data here. And institutions going to send it higher as well, and that will be big for crypto, for Kaspa, and it means that there'll be even more opportunities to make money in the space, to make quick capital, or potentially, again, make quick capital. Of course, it's not balance wise, and be careful in discussion. And then I've been putting my winnings that I've been making into Kaspa more so as well, extra dry powder. Although Synthetic is still bullish on Kaspa, it just takes a little longer time to list on Binance, more time to accumulate. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I do choose to believe him, but again, he's not provided information because maybe he can't. But again, for me, he still chooses. Either way, like, Binance listing for Kaspa will happen in due time. When, again, we can't say for sure, but it will happen, and when that happens, to be a very big deal. I only bought 2 Tangem. I want 4 to 5. So my idea was to buy and add them to existing accounts if possible. I mean, yeah, for my knowledge, again, it seems that it is possible. I did do a little bit of research into it from what I saw. I'm pretty sure Mikey, shout out to that man, he's probably not in stream right now, but he did mention it in the stream yesterday about that it is possible to do so. Ultimately, you also can reach out to Tangem support. You know, Tangem here, reach out to the support page and probably find out an answer through them. But from what I looked into, you can add multiple cards to the app. Now, I'm not sure if you want it all to be in the exact same wallet. I am not particularly sure. I need to do more research into that part to see for you. But from what I can see, you can add multiple Tangem cards to the same app, and each card will be treated as a separate wallet with its own unique address and private keys. So, you know, that for the most part, I think is effectively what you're asking for, and that is therefore a good thing, very good thing. How many developers or contributors are working on Kaspa? I don't know the exact answer to that, Infamous Gardens. There's a lot of them. Of course, we know the core ones being Crypto Aspect, Michael Sutton, and Jonathan Belinsky, and then Shai is, and maybe not so much so a developer now, but he's still a crucial part of it. But there are many people. You've got Coder stuff as well. You've got many more. There was a post, I think I linked to my server as well, where it was showing like a world map. It's just from, you know, months ago now, but a world map of all the developers who are working on Kaspa. It's growing more and more, but it's still in early stages. I mean, ultimately, there are loads working on it right now, and there'll be even more, I'm sure, as the project matures and grows more and more. I'm trying to see if I can find the post, but I don't seem to find. I mean, yeah, it was so long ago I saw the post. There's probably been a lot more added since then. Yeah, I'm still looking. I don't seem to see, unfortunately, my man. But there are lots. It's all I can say. There are a lot of developers, and there are going to be more, I'm sure. When do you think Kaspa is going to hit 30 cents? Tough to say. I'm going to say Q1 2025. I'm going to say January. Some point in January, I think, maybe latter half of January. If we get Binance listing, if you get the institutional adoption going parabolic, when Trump gets inaugurated, we see crypto go higher, I think Kaspa could probably hit 30 cents by then. What's the current average TPS at the moment? The average, right now the TPS states that it's only at 5 right now. That's what it is at right now. I know it can peak at 300. It can peak higher than that, but the TPS it can handle is 300. With TPS it'll be 3,000. I'm trying to see if there's a way I can tell the average. I'm sure there is. Probably here. Average TPS right here. There you go. So average TPS right now seems to be, if we see it obviously spike massively. So it spiked massively here. I'm gonna say right now it's probably around 10, like 5 to 10 right now. So nothing crazy because again, Kaspa's not got the adoption. Again, it's a platform while being utilized. It's not being utilized a lot yet because we haven't got developers on board, no smart contracts, no institutional adoption. So it's not, on average, it's not a lot right now, but it's going to shift more with developments like Timpius coming very, very soon. Again, seemingly being accelerated and fast tracked. Tangem has never had a problem to my knowledge, but imagine at the peak of the bull run that there are small bugs. I mean, yeah, everything's going to have problems, right? You know, it's ultimately going to be like, no matter what happens, nothing's perfect. Nothing. All you can do is try and strive closer to greatness, but nothing's perfect. You know, even Kaspa, their first launch, KRC20, while successful, was still technically a failure, and their relaunch again was very successful, but it was highly congested because it was so successful. It was too congested. But nothing is perfect, or you could just get really, really good. I'm sure Tangem will have issues. I do believe you'll probably see a lot of issues with these tokens on the Tangem integration date, because you'll see a lot of people probably trying to put it into a cold storage like Tangem to protect their assets more so. So you'll probably see exchanges go a bit iffy, and also these tokens will probably soar in price, again, protect potentially, and then probably correct as a result after that as well. What's up, Clayton? What about to stream, my man? Can Kaspa reach online in 2025? I believe so. I think it can do as well. If I die, how does my wife access my Tangem card? I don't know. You probably have to give her your seed phase and your key, but I mean, that's whether you want to give that out or not. You shouldn't really give that out to anybody, but if you want them to have that, you have to give them out your key, I guess. Is Kas Candle now on a trend reversal to bullish? I hope so. I do. I mean, right now it is starting to correct on the daily time frame a little bit, down 0.14%. The market seems to be going through a corrective phase again. It seemingly recovered a bit. I'm unsure right now. Ultimately, it depends. You know, we did see some good, you know, the US passing the bill is a good thing. You know, the inflation data coming back also being positive is a good thing as well. So we have got some good signs now. The market should hopefully be, you know, recovering a bit. But, you know, again, it's really early to say. That we're still waiting for the big catalyst for crypto. And right now, because there's still a lot of uncertainty in the market, because, again, it's still based on Jerome Powell saying, it mainly started with Jerome Powell saying there's only going to be 2 rate cuts next year instead of 3. That caused a lot of FUD. And now people are a bit, you know, worried, if you will. BEP at 0.147. Yeah, I'll be honest. I mean, I should, and I probably do, but can you clarify what that means, my man? Because I don't actually know what you mean by that. I probably should, and I imagine when you clarify, I will know what you mean by that, but I don't know what that means off the bat. Nick, do you mind clarifying for me, please? I wish I did. Is it better for Kaspa price when Bitcoin rises or falls? I mean, when Bitcoin rises, everything tends to ride in value as a result. Kaspa, for me, it doesn't strictly follow Bitcoin, as proven in the cycle already. When Bitcoin's been rising from 68 to 100k, Kaspa didn't really rise at all. In November, it did rise, of course. November down here to up here, it did rise, but, you know, not exactly to the same exact extent. That happened mainly from Kaspa's own, you know, developments, Kraken listing. It's the fact that you hit the bottom down here at 10 cents. I mean, ultimately, it's Kaspa's price will rise with Bitcoin as the cycle gets more and more parabolic, but Kaspa will also do its own thing, I believe, as well. But of course, time will tell. Been observing that Kaspa follows Bitcoin coins up and down these past. I mean, right now it has been, yes, because again, if you look at, you can tell why it is right now because you look at Bitcoin dominance. You can see it's right now dominating the market. It's got look at how much it's like gone up in a few days. If it's below this trend line, especially if it's below 50, alts tend to go more unique and parabolic themselves. But right now, Bitcoin dominance being so high that alts will tend to follow in suit with Bitcoin. Are you trading memes on Solana? Yeah, we're trading some memes on Solana. That's what I have been in my personal time. That's also now what I'm, you know, me and people who, you know, pro traders that I have asked to join. We're also showcasing that in the paid section, in the Patreon. So yeah, we trade when we showcase leverage trading. We showcase, you know, obviously Solana meme trading as well. We also showcase, you know, I have my information tab in the free Discord server. We have a more detailed section in the behind the in the crypto, the Coin Factory executive section as well. We'll be doing weekly live streams showcasing how to, you know, trading, risk management, and that sort of stuff as well. We can do portfolio analysis as well, early hidden gems, all this sort of stuff. We provide quite a bit in there, And again, we're just getting started. There's going to be a lot more coming to that section and to Kaspa in this space and that server whole community, not just the executive section, as the cycle matures more and more and goes up. If Bitcoin raises, all altcoins will follow, mostly with some lag. Yeah, typically what you'll see is Bitcoin will rise, the altcoins, the big large caps will follow in suit, the mid caps will follow maybe a few hours or days afterwards, and the micro caps will follow maybe it can be up to a week afterwards as well. Bitcoin tends to dominate the market though, but when the Bitcoin dominance falls off, then you'll see the alts go in their own little cycle. The sun has not even rose over here. I know, I'm sorry Dusty, it's very, very early, I'm very, very sorry. I had to do it. I've got to, I'm meant to be leaving in about 40 minutes, so the stream's going to be wrapping up pretty much on the dot in 10 minutes time. And then I've got to get ready very, very quickly to before I get screamed at for because I'm notoriously quite bad at being on time when I'm seeing people in person. I'm seeing my family, so they'll be very upset if I'm not ready. And they'll be like, "What?" They'll be calling me saying, "Why have you not left yet?" I'm like, "I'm working." I'm sorry. They understand, right? It's the grind. You can't stop grinding. But the pump ain't significant at all. I mean, right now it's not doing much, but I'm sure it'll be big in the future. We need to wait till announcements like Crescendo. Yeah, I'm sure we do. We definitely do. But again, this sort of stuff will be very, very big, and we'll see more adoption. Yeah, I mean, you're completely right, Devious. That's when all the fun will happen. We're following the Tier 1 listings, following 10BS, follow smart contracts, follow KRI, following all the developments. Again, I did mention in the last video I made, but equally in my last stream as well, the significance behind the post that Kaspa put out regarding they got invited. I don't know why I'm looking at through this. I have to type in Kaspa. Regarding this event, the INATBA, how big that is, because it gives them, basically put in the limelight with regulators and policymakers, which is a very big deal. So if they win that, and they're going to find out the results in about a month, on the January 29th, that could be a very big deal. What are whales waiting for now? Probably just, I can't say for sure. Talk about Kaspa whales, I can't say for sure. I mean, I wish I was a whale. I wish I was a whale. I'm not though, so I can't say what goes on them. I can't say exactly what they do, what goes on their heads. But seemingly they're just waiting right now. Right now the exchanges are accumulating more and more. Kaspa, we've seen a massive drop off actually from these exchanges, but Gate's been building more and more. Which again is once more comes down to the element of, yes, there seems to be a chance that we'll see an exchange or a significant move come very, very soon. Because typically when exchanges build up more of their allocation, it leads to there being a big move on the horizon. Is Binance listed in January 2025? I hope so. I mean, seemingly according to Sin City, it should happen this year, and it didn't. So you like to believe, therefore, because it got delayed, therefore potentially, if that's the case, then it will become early 2025, maybe January. I mean, we have got, again, this developments could mean we see fast tracking of it. But of course, it's a waiting game. For me, it will happen in Q1, Binance. Hopefully, the earlier the better, of course. Holding major loss on long, but buy average down until. Sorry, my throat. I'll really holding major loss on long, but at average down to 14 cents. Price can't average down anymore. Hope it rebounds. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I do hope it rebounds as well. I mean, me as well. Obviously, I got into Kaspa a bit early. I got around 5 cents, but I actually didn't go crazy. Like, I bought some at 5 cents, and then it did a massive pump. I was like, oh, fantastic. And then I started DC. I was like, I should have got more early on. Then I started DCing into it. DCing a bit more into it. Right now, my average is actually higher. So right now, I'm actually down on Kaspa as well. I think my average is around 13.5, 14 cents, something like that. I've not actually checked my wallet in a while. I refuse to, because I'm like, you know what? I don't need to. I know it's going to go up in the future, But yeah, it will rebound. I'm confident that much. Good morning, Alyssa. Have a very, very good day. I took a break from looking at my portfolio. Less tears. Yeah, you know what I mean. Exactly the same thing here. I don't need to look at it. I just need to have belief, the hopium, right? No one knows, but many people think Q1. I personally think when the volume skyrockets a couple of days before massive updates, I think so as well. Minimum price for Kaspa peak bull cycle is 45 cents. I agree as well. That's definitely the minimum price for Kaspa, I think. Kaspa's undervalued now. Good morning. Just keep in mind, Kaspa is only coin that solves trilemma. Has big updates coming next year, and it's only 3 years old. All the top coins only have solved 2 points of trilemma, which makes Kaspa more superior. Yeah, and you're completely right again. Kaspa has solved the trilemma. you'll see that more and more evident as it develops more and more and it's utilized more and more in the space. It's decentralized, which only Bitcoin can say that much as well, while also being scalable and secure, which every other project, has scalability and security, but none has decentralization, and some don't even have, all those two. Whereas Mr. Miles, Mr. Miles is currently asleep. He kind of tends streams of this early. He lives in a different time zone. If I do streams around 5, it's like 8 a.m. for him there, so he can tend those. But right now it'll be like basically midnight for him, or like early a.m., so he won't be here, unfortunately. But good, because he bullies me too much. I'm off to work. The grind is real. Have a good day. Great to hear that, Alyssa. And yeah, keep the grind up, working every day. I'll be here, of course, doing my streams daily, and also even here on Christmas and New Year's, I'll be here every day, grinding, working, hopefully, and praying for the big announcement to come to Kaspa. Is INA TBA better than Grayscale? No. Well, it's tough to say, right? Grayscale, of course, Grayscale's wall sheet is massive, but INA TBA, it offers private. It offers basically, it could offer Kaspa a global forum to interact with regulators and policymakers, so it could put Kaspa in the spotlight more so with, the people who basically will pass regulations to make sure the project's actually good, or like approve the project at least. So this puts Kaspa as a nominee, puts them in the spot. It puts them, on the spotlight, and if they win, it puts them center stage. So it's a very, very big deal for Kaspa, and its incoming adoption is competing with the likes of OneBoard, Fusion Plus, Indigo, Jellyverse, and Kiln. But again, I think we'll see Kaspa. I don't know if Kaspa will win it, but the fact it's been nominated is good. But if it wins it, that'll be absolutely insane. But I think personally, Grayscale's bigger because of, obviously, it's a more well-known name. What's up, my man? Welcome back to the stream. Would you sell Kaspa at 30 cents? No. I have my take profit zones. Of course, it will depend on when the market top comes in. Exactly, but I won't take profit. I will not be taking profit at 30 cents Kaspa. For me, if I was to get the zones that I want to happen, my first take profit would be around $1. Then it'd be probably $1.50, then $2, then $3, and so on and so forth. Kaspa may not reach a $3 a cycle. Again, I can't say for sure. It depends on the announcements and the developments when the cycle tops. I think it can. I think there's potential for do so, but again, there are too many catalysts to take into account. But again, let's just say it gets too overheated too early, and Kaspa only reaches 90 cents. I might take some profit there as a result of it, but I think Kaspa is due to, based on the developments coming out, like 10 BPS, like smart contracts, like KRI, all that stuff. I think Kaspa will have its own miniature cycle potentially. Again, that's speculative, not financial. That's my belief of it. But I think we can see an own miniature cycle for Kaspa in the latter half of the cycle, and it's also growing belief right now based on what's happening in this space that we could potentially see either the top not topping and just keep going, or double top, because there's so much demand from these banks to get in crypto and build that allocation of capital of crypto. They've been waiting for years, and literally a year now. The ETFs got approved January 24th, I believe, 2023. It's been almost a year, and the SEC's been stopping them from getting involved time and time again. So they're desperate to get involved now. And the new SEC chairman, Paul Atkins, will be fast-tracking that. I'm sure Donald Trump will be fast-tracking that, and we'll see it go up in value. I'm a person that gets married with a coin. Is that smart? I mean, I personally believe you should never be married to your bags. Like, as much as I love Kaspa, it's my biggest holding by a country mile, and I'm a maxi of Kaspa, I do diversify, and I hold multiple projects. The allocation of those are much, much smaller. I have less than 5% of my portfolio in Kaspa, equal amounts in Sui, as similar to C as well. But biggest one by far is Kaspa. But I remain much like I love Kaspa, and I believe it's going to do very well in the cycle. I look at it objectively of whether it can make me money in the future based on what's going to come through it. If you were to get married to any coin, it should be Bitcoin, and Kaspa there could be argued as in the same conversation because again it's similar to Bitcoin. But I would personally say don't ever get married to your bags. We're investors. The whole point here is trying to make money. The reason I believe in Kaspa because it has the best chance to make money. We see Kaspa in March, April. Again, it depends on the announcements. We'll see 10 BPS by then most likely. I believe we'll see Binance by then most likely as well. Maybe OKX as well. You might even see Kaspa win the INATBA. You might even see ETFs, more ETFs coming out for Kaspa based on the stablecoin regulations coming through. So you could see Kaspa north of $1 by that point. Maybe it won't be there. Maybe Kaspa goes on a massive late run like other projects done in the past and goes like 20x in a span of a month. But late into the cycle, it really does depend. So I can't make an accurate prediction by any means because there's too many catalysts to take into account. But if I was to make one, I'd say 50 cents minimum, which is a 3x from here, 4x from here. And potentially higher than that, but it depends on the announcements and how much adoption is in the space by that point. Bitcoin may be at 150k by then, again, time will tell. But that being said, thank you everyone for joining the stream today. It's been a very, very early, but I think nonetheless very important stream. I'll be streaming tomorrow. It'll be back to normal time, which will be 8 p.m. UTC. I'll put an announcement again in my Discord server, which once more, the free Discord server. Go check it out if you want to. Chill there, learn more. And if you're intrigued, you can also go check out the executives, the WOP page of it, the Patreon, where you can learn even more, like risk management, more information, crypto gems, how to trade, risk management, like everything else like that. Portfolio reviews, all that sort of stuff that we provide. You want to get more in tune with it as well. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a very good day, good evening, good night. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care now.